We're so close now, Rose, to the kickoff clash. Atlanta Reign versus London Spitfire first up. I'm excited to get into today because we might see that Rhine brawl. Everybody saw the Gator tweet. If you didn't, you saw the Huddy tweet. They're ready to rock and roll. We'll have to see if that does end up happening in a little moment. And, you know, it's funny that the London Spitfire, and Johnny mentioned it, well, we can't really play against the Atlanta Reign, blacklisted scrims, yada, yada, yada. Maybe this is the time to prove that you should be #1 scrim partner. We are the best. London Spitfire have been looking good, Rose. They took a map off the Gladiators and looked pretty decent yesterday.
Yes, they did, which is why I'm a little surprised that Danny's becoming a fake fan for the London Spitfire.
Yeah,
because,
what is that about?
How can you have hopium for the other series, Danny, but you don't have hopium for your London Spitfire that you've backed like every other series up to this point? I don't know. That's a little sussy, not gonna lie. But you know what? I think other people could very well look at the London Spitfire like reinforced and definitely back them, especially after their performance from yesterday. I mean, that match versus the Los Angeles Gladiators was really, really close.
Yeah, it was super close. I think a lot of people expected that day to be full of 3-0s, and actually a lot of the teams took one map off of opposition that no one really expected them to. Gladiators losing a map to London, and London playing what they do best in the Rhine. Like, it's going to be good. And I hope we get to see that Rhine 1v1 today. Or maybe a little bit less of an honorable 1v1. I'm not sure they're actually going to let them do that, but I have to wait and see. Let's have a look who is starting for the Atlanta Reign. Coming in, we've got new Queen Street out first. The push is starting this week, and it is going to be Hawk. Okay, no Gator yet, but there's still time. Look, you post it on Twitter, you gotta do it. But, you have to submit your rosters fairly early on, so it makes sense why they're running Hawk first. And on the push, yeah, you can play a little bit of Rhine, but new Queen Street, yeah, I'd rather have something like a Doomfist or the Hawk playing just Hoff tanks, yeah.
Yeah, no.
And we got Nero, Kai, Ultraviolet, and OG to round out the roster today.
Looking pretty good. I mean, Kai and Nero, I feel like overall the Atlanta Reign are going back to basics a little bit. We did have the Kai Venom duo happen last week. And so I just feel like maybe just going back to basics. Kai Venom was with Gator, so maybe Venom will end up getting some play time if we do see the honorable or dishonorable Reinhardt versus Reinhardt.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Let's have a look who they're facing. You know him, you love him. The London Spitfire, or if you Danny, apparently you don't love him. I don't know. I don't know what happened there, going to be honest. Going to keep harping on that, make sure Danny knows what we're talking about. Sparker, Backbone, Hardy, Landon, and Admiral in the back line. London, they do need to win here, Rose.
Yep.
If they win by 3-1 or a 3-0 scoreline, they do stay alive, and their chances of getting to the kickoff clash, they're there. But they need a few other different circumstances to occur for them to actually get their ticket to Dallas. So it's going to be an upwards hill battle, and they need to be dominant for this entire series. The Atlanta Reign, on the other hand, if they win, they're in. London, they lose, they're out. So London are fighting for that space.
Yeah, certainly. They're definitely looking to be able to win so they can improve their map differential as well, which is why we need to see them get a 3-0 or a 3-1. But let's take a look at New Queen Street, because we are going to push to be able to kick off this series, and the fact that Backbone is in the starting lineup for the London Spitfire kind of screams to me that Backbone is there to be able to play flexibly on May or even Sombra. London Spitfire have had a bit of an Achilles heel when it's come to playing against a Doomfist. So if Hawk decides to go that route, well, Houston Outlaws and the Los Angeles Gladiators kind of gave it to Hottie with the Doomfist. So we might see Backbone be able to switch over to the Sombra to try to counter that.
Yeah, it's been cropping up every now and then, and wouldn't be too shocked. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. It can be quite frustrating as the Doomfist. Sombra's not like she used to be, like the hacks don't last forever. It's more of a small interrupt these days, but hang on a second.
Maybe. We might see it. We might see it, maybe. Wait, I'm not going to get baited by this. I'm not going to get baited by it, but
I was going to say, I don't think they run Hawk and then just switch over to Ryan.
Yeah,
that
no
don't make
way.
any sense.
No. So we're going to see the Hawk Doomfist. We're not going to see the Reinhardt until Gator comes in and gives us a good old taste of the GOATS meta that we know and we love. But London Spitfire are going to be running Backbone on the Mei, and that does pair really nicely with Hadi's Reinhardt, so we are seeing that flavor of Brawl come out from London.
Hadi's already in that charge. It's kind of dangerous if Hawk is up in that position. Goes for a big charge up punch. He can knock people off the map. Landon just getting 2 hits. That's unfortunate. Backbone also going down. Wow, what a start. It looks like London were holding bated breath there for a moment for Rain to engage, but it looks like they hold it for a little bit too long and end up falling over. Fainting, if you will. Spitfire, they lose the first fight, and the Rain again, that payload going already.
Yeah, Rain are going to be able to round this corner, and that's really when things start to get difficult for the London Spire defense. At least their spawns are going to be coming up pretty quickly, so should be able to get back into things. But New Queen Street's tough. Look at these angles!
Hawk on the ridiculous flank. He's actually in London's second spawn. I think that's is it an egg restaurant? It's something. It says egg on it, I think. I can't remember. Can't remember specifically. I haven't got used to all the names of the restaurants. Like I need to. I don't know. Fun facts, I guess, with Jaws once again. Hardy just permanently going for those charges. Lucky you can cancel it now, so you don't have to commit and go for a pin, which can be disastrous against someone like an Ana. But Hardy willing to take the 1v1 and at least, you know, push the robot back just a little bit. However, Nano on to Nero, quickly dashes through Sparker, cuts him in half. Well, the Spitfire do take out OG, so Rain are going to be a little bit slower moving into this fight, but Nero just taking this game into his own hands. Admiral following up with a couple of kills on top of it. Nice counter pin from Hardy to stop Hawk going in, and Admiral actually picking up the slack for the Spitfire, killing off Nero. And the Atlanta Rain on what looked like a very winnable fight are now going to have to back off. Admiral with 3 kills in that fight.
Okay, Admiral, we see you now. Lucio's can pop off too. We've been talking a lot about the Anas, but it's all about the Lucio's, Jaws. Admiral really trying to get up in the conversation here. But take a look at these flanks. What the heck is Kai doing right now?
He's going for a... Well, he's dead. I'll tell you what he's doing. He went for a 2v1. Unfortunate. They do trade soldier for soldier, so both of them are out. Windows opened up from Landon. Nice burst headshot onto Nero. He gets taken out, and London Spitfire holding strong. Admiral does fall. A little bit of revenge for Hawk, but London Spitfire getting the payload moving once again. Or the robot, I should say. Not the payload.
Robot.
He has feelings and thoughts.
Yeah. Is he an Omnic?
He is.
Okay, I've been trying to figure that out. Yeah, that makes sense with the lore. Anyway, London has control of the Omnic right now, so that barricade is going to be able to move forward, but look at Sparker getting into a position for these ults.
Yeah, Shadow from the London Spitfire. Only struck one. Hawk fell on his back, but look at that. Cheeky little flank from Nero. Pushes the robot all the way back. And oh. What was that again? Well, I mean, never seen that before. Hovering fire strike. New tech. New tech. Wow. From the Rhyme 1 trick. Wouldn't be surprised if Hardy found all those little bits and pieces in Overwatch 2. Well, Backbone's dead. He did kill OG at the start of the engagement. But that was about it. And yeah, Kai's Visor does nothing. Yeah, that was incredible. I love that play.
Yeah, that was an ult. That was an ult. Maybe we'll see something a little bit better out of the Nano Dragon Blade.
Ooh. There's the blade. Meteor Strike's coming in as well. Landon goes down. Reset for Nero. Slices one and gets the kill onto Sparker. OG finishes that kill up. Another reset for Nero as Backbone goes into the ice block. Thawed out and dead. The Atlanta Rain with a quick and clean fight. I really like that combo, the Meteor Strike with the blade, just getting almost instant kills with just a single slash. Really nice work.
That was really cool too, because the Meteor Strike also disrupted everybody and kind of made them scatter to the point where Nero could just dash through and get those dash resets, and then OG also gets a chance to go in and get the final blows. We see you. Lucio's really trying to take some names right now.
Another really nice counterpin there from Hardy. Ends Hawk, and Nero's now trapped on the wrong side of the wall. That beat was unfortunately a little bit too late from the London Spitfire. Couldn't save Landon, but look, they're using this speed boost. They know they haven't got a lot of heals, so they have to end this fight quickly. They pick off both Ultraviolet and OG. Good little space creation from the London Spitfire support and DPS in Sparker and Admiral. Admiral does die, but again, they're getting that robot moving, and they're close to tying the Atlanta Reign now.
Yeah, they are. Just a little bit more around this corner, and take a look at Sparker just popping the tac visor to create some space.
Yep, there's the lead. It's been secured. London Spitfire with that little jingle. And now they just need to wait for the rest of the team to gather up. Hawk trying to play a little bit of disruption in the back. A little punch to Hardy to make sure he rejoins the rest of his team. But Ultraviolet out of nowhere, up onto the high ground, kills both DPS and a lamp. We're talking about the Arnas, the Lucios, and now we should talk about the Arnas.
Yeah.
I mean, both support duos doing a heck of a lot of damage for these teams right now.
Well, I think what's really interesting, too, is we do have this kind of changed up flavor of Landon being on the Baptiste this time around instead of the Ana. And so that does add an interesting element to this, which you have the Immortality field, which can really help to bunker down your team and save them from quite a few things on the Atlanta Reign, especially when you look at just kind of crowd control effects as well. But Kai trying to get ready for this visor.
Ooh, yeah. Wasn't expecting that damage. Was hoping Ultraviolet would heal him up on the high ground, but even Ultraviolet was getting pressured by Sparker, who's on the flank. Meteor Strike. Hawk raises himself up into the heavens. He's so low, though. When he comes back down, they need to focus him. He ends up coming back down into more of a safer space. Backbone on the flank, on the May. Hasn't got Icebox for a couple of seconds. Trying to play a bit of fancy footwork there, but Nero was a little bit quicker. The London Spitfire still in a good spot. The window from Landon to stop that visor, really doing all of anything. Sparker moves forward and takes advantage of Kai being in a tight situation. Nero does find Landon again, and the blade's going to come out. The nano on top. Sparker dies. Landon was already dead, and Nero now trying to finish off the tanks. Gets another reset off of Hardy. And the Atlanta Reign off the back of that nano blade are in a good spot. Admiral trying his best to move that robot as far away from the Reign as possible, but didn't get it too far at all. 60 seconds now, Rose remains.
Well, this is where London Spitfire really need to start gritting their teeth, because that robot is about to match the progress that London Spitfire were able to make on the other side. So London need to come in here with this tactical visor and this sound barrier and just clean up the fight here. This is the last one.
Already Ultraviolet trying to go for a flank, and Nero gets punished yet again by Backbone. Backbone's finding so many big right clicks across the map to start off these engagements. 5v4 as Sparker goes on the flank with the rest of his team with the tactical visor. Ultraviolet's in a bad situation, same with OG. Sparker doesn't want to get booped, but both supports on the Reign just retreating. They know they can't take this 3v2, not if you're two supports against two DPS. Hawk goes for an engage, hits up that power block, doesn't get it charged up as Landon finishes the kill. Now Ultraviolet going down, and with 6 seconds to go, the Reign are in trouble. The London Spitfire looking like they are against the Gladiators from yesteryear. Overtime here, and London Spitfire is still in control of the robots. They've got the Blizzard and the window coming up. The Reign need to find something in order to stay in this fight.
Oh, that might have to be the Meteor Strike here. Hawk's trying to work up to it, but he just goes down, Jaws.
Hawk goes down to Sparker, now only 10% away from the Blizzard and the window. The two game-winning ultimates. London need to finish this fight. Sparker goes pretty low. The rest of his team aren't looking at him to heal, but regenerative burst to make sure he's topped up for this last engagement. The window comes out just in time to shut down Kai, but Hardy standing strong on the payload, taking out the rest of the team, and that will be the London Spitfire claiming push.
Whoo, boy! London Spitfire played that beautifully, and already maybe sending some chills down the Atlanta Reign. They don't look too happy with the loss on New Queen Street right there.
I think it's time to bring out the Rhine, bring out the Gator,
Let's go.
Unleash him. Just go for the 1v1 on the Reinhardt. You might as well at this point. That was an incredible performance by London. They take a win off of the Glads the other day, and now they're claiming another one off of the Reign. They've been improving week on week. Can they continue this? We'll have to wait and find out after this break. There we go, map number 2. Circuit Royale. And your eyes don't deceive you. London once again have claimed a map off of one of the top teams in North America. Push went the way of Spitfire. Can this next one? No substitutions from either side. Not seeing Gator versus Hardy yet. But it is Circuit Royale, Rose. Makes sense why Rain want to keep hawking. Got to play that Sigma.
Oh, for sure. I mean, at this point, you have to be able to play the Sigma, but I worry about that a little bit. I'm not going to lie. Because let's just look at Hottie as a Reinhardt. Look at how aggressive he is. I mean, we call him chatty sometimes. The Reinhardt might prove to be too aggressive for a Sigma here.
Yeah, it's all about Zerg rushing.
Yeah.
It's all about. Speed boost, Lucio, easy clap. Or at least that's what London are hoping what happens. I can imagine Backbone again, just playing that Mei. Mei works perfectly well with the Ryan. You can wall the Sigma off. You can set up a backboard for you to charge into. The Mei works perfectly if you're on London. They're on the defense first. And actually, Spark are rolling out with the Sombra. So they, man, it feels like they want to go anti-Doomfist and maybe anti-Sigma if you so choose, you know? It's like they've got a lot of, they've got a lot of leeway there. Depends on what Rain want to roll out the gate with. Oh, and you can hack that mini pack too, which would be quite helpful, and the mega pack on the other side of the road. Right,
because that's where London Spitfire are going to want to defend from, is just being able to play around those health packs and just try to contest the cart from the interior of those buildings. So that does make a lot of sense, because Backbone can also help wall some of the people off. But let's see what Atlanta Reign decide to step out of spawn with. We do see the Sigma coming out from Hawk, and no.
Seeing it again?
Really?
Shades of Proper from yesterday?
What?
Nero Bastion? I mean, maybe just to set up, just to kill the shield, I suppose. Wow, Backbone already used his block. I mean, that's a lot of damage when you turn into the wheels mode, but
ooh, no.
Look at him go. He's rolling around.
Yeah, I mean, look at...
Not quite at the speed of sound. He's pretty slow.
Yeah, I mean, look at Sparker trying to even just get a hack onto Nero, though, but the backline is protecting him so well.
Oh, that was a really nice peel there for Hawk, who got hacked. Just trying to move the payload. They have to get past this door. That's the main problem. Nero is so low. Nice immortality field to save his life. The rest of the London Spitfire decided to int onto the backline, and int they did. Spark, Apple, and Backbone Hardy are dead. In fact, make that the whole team. They tried so hard. They didn't focus Hawk at all. It looked like they just wanted to go for Nero. They went for the hack. They got it, and that was about it. OG just laid down the lamp, and well, the rest is history.
Yeah, that was a failed attempt. Looks like London Spitfire are going to try it again. But at this point, Atlanta Reign can set Nero up on the cart with the Bastion. That Bastion gets to round the corner as well. And you also just continue to have OG watching the oh no. Oh, or just take the high ground. Look at Nero trying to spot check as well to see where Sparker might be coming from.
If he gets set up, he's going to be quite nice, but on this corner, it could be quite deadly. He can just take so much spam. London not winning to commit. Okay, there you go. Eventually, at the very end, a big charge in, but the window, oh my god, the damage! You can't do anything against that, unfortunately. Goodbye, London, goodbye. The window Bastion. Yep, it's still as deadly as it was in Overwatch 1. That is way too much for not only a Reinhardt shield, but a Mei wall. Like, there's nothing left in your path.
I actually wonder how much Symmetra wall would help you here either. The Photon Barrier might not be able to withstand that either. I'm not sure. But London Spitfire, they do have a win condition on the board. Sparker has finally built up to that EMP, but Jaws, look at how much this card has been able to progress from Atlanta Reign. London have had to give up basically 2 points here.
Oh, what a hack! Unreal. Sparker denies that ult completely. Dragons try and follow up with something, and there's the Blizzard. Finally, London are using ult to try and get back into this. The Meteor Strike's coming in, though, or Meteor Strike. The Mortars are coming in. Not quite finding any kills. We'll eventually one day get them. They're quite easy to dodge out of when you have the speed boost. Transcenders after the EMP, but a beat follow-up from the London Spitfire. Can they actually get on top of Nero? to take him out? Signs pointing to no right now. Sparker going for a hack on Ultraviolet. So much pocket. I doubt he gets the one clip. Oh, he doesn't get the one clip, but Hardy from downtown as everybody was looking at the Zen to try and save him. Wasn't looking at the giant 7-foot wall of muscle that is Reinhardt. Nice pin onto Hawk. He should be dead. And the London Spitfire, they're going to make their stand.
But look at how expensive and look at how much that took to be able to stop the cart. A point and a half, an EMP, a Blizzard, and a beat on top of that. And now Atlanta Reign are coming back with Nero on the Pharah. Jaws, what timeline are we in?
This feels, man, maybe Bastion is good on this map, by the way.
Maybe I don't know. I'm not going to judge it yet after San Francisco kind of off with it.
That was an unreal boop, by the way, from Nero. He booped Sparker around the wall. Intentional or not intentional, it looked pretty cool, and then Kai finished him off. Nice shatter, kills OG, who's playing Ground Mercy. Couple of minutes to go for the Atlanta Reign to push on to second. Definitely the hardest point, or the hardest section of the map to take against the Reinhardt team. It's either this section or the very first corner. You have to basically run into the Reinhardt.
Yeah, there's no other way to get up there except if you want to take the stairs, in which case you're giving high ground advantage way over to the London Spitfire.
Another aggressive engage. Nero trying to land some body shots onto Lander, but he's going super low, and Lander just hits him with the classic right click. Wow, the London Spitfire defense looking good so far. Landon dies, but he's pretty close to the rest of the team to be able to get back with that shift.
What I find really interesting is that Atlanta Reign gave up the support ultimates they would need to be able to deal with Sparker's EMP. At this point, it kind of looks like Atlanta's just accepting that EMP might be enough for it. Oh my god, Backbone!
I mean, that's just go in. A double, maybe a triple right click there from Backbone. Oh, he's in the block. Someone save him. Oh, he's fine. Don't worry. Another hack from Sparker, denying the flux once more. Hawk is having the worst time right now. An EMP follow-up with a barrage from the backline. Can London Spitfire sustain through the damage? No, they cannot. That's barrage. Unfortunately, took out Hardy. The one tool that they needed to stop that damage from coming through to the rest of the team. But still, with 60 seconds to go, and London Spitfire having a beat and a coalescence for this next fight. They're in a good spot, Rose.
That's huge, especially because they were able to get out the Pharah barrage from Nero, too. So that's off the table. Kai doesn't have Dragon Strike anymore either. So this sustain from London very well could be enough to just stop the payload here in these last 35 seconds.
It's a perfect place to defend if you're the Rhine team. Hardy should get Shatter online. Sparker looking for a hack. Now they can go for something. Perfect coalescence. And he's just annihilated Ultraviolet. He's completely out of the fight. Landon unfortunately goes down to a couple of Storm Arrows, but they might be able to follow up with some more kills. Abro and Hardy rush to the backline, knowing Ultraviolet can't heal the rest of the team. Hardy stuck on the wrong side of the field and boops away OG from getting that res. Nero does finish off Hardy, and they can still touch the payload, but London still have another chance.
Yeah, they are able to come back into this. Backbone's going to have to go in and contest.
You gotta touch. You gotta touch. Hardy's coming back with Shatter, and Backbone is close to that Blizzard. Nero needs to make this barrage absolutely massive. The Shatter hits the ground, but the Immortality Field is going to save them just for a moment. Sparker and Nero end up trading, and Hardy unfortunately ends up falling down as well. A 2v3. There's too much healing on the side of the Atlanta Reign because Ultraviolet, throughout that entire engagement, survived. And the London Spitfire, they forego that second point. The Reign, they get one more shot now at third. A minute and 20 seconds to go on the clock.
Amazing stuff coming out from Ultraviolet. We've already talked about how good he is at Ana. But what about this Baptiste? Jaws, I am so impressed right now because Ultraviolet single-handedly was able to win Atlanta Reign that fight. Whether it was the Immortality Field to be able to stop Hottie from being able to pick up those kills from the Earth Shatter, or just the raw healing. Super good stuff.
Nice positioning from Nero, going high up on the bridge, so if he gets hacked, he just falls down onto it. Backbone ends up taking a couple of directs. For the Atlanta Reign, it should be good to go. Hardy is in a tight, confined space, but, I mean, Nero from the skies is doing way too much splash damage. And the London Spitfire literally defending on last. But this is Atlanta Reign's last fight. Nero gets another big barrage off of this. They could complete the map.
Very well could. I mean, Nero is definitely looking for it. Look at the high ground positioning.
They know where they are.
Oh no, London might just run right into that.
Nice hack. Nero once again landing on the high ground. That was an amazing Sonic arrow from Kai, just revealing London. They are just going to run to the point. Nero looking for the barrage. He gets hacked again. Is anybody be able to do anything? I don't think so. Nero going low. Amazing immortality field on the high ground to keep him alive throughout the barrage. Backbone takes it out and eventually falls down. Oh my word, somehow Atlanta Reign makes sure Nero survives. Kai picking up 2 after the Dragon Strike splits the London Spitfire. They find the team kill, and in overtime, the Atlanta Reign completes Circuit Royale.
Whoa. That was so cool from the Reign. I mean, you just have to give so much credit to Ultraviolet. That is incredible positioning. Nero also being able to play with that really well, but it was that immortality field again. I was nervous for the Atlanta Reign because they didn't have any sort of defensive support ultimate online. But, you know, as we like to joke about the immortality field kind of being like an ultimate, that was used to perfection. Very cool.
That was insane. Like, the perfect height for the barrage.
Yeah.
And the immortality field was right next to him. That was just, yeah, that was nuts. The Atlanta Reign now on the defense. You know it's going to be the same kind of thing. And Nero running with the Farah once again. Come on, bro. You got to just bring out the Bastion for first. Make it a thing. We saw Proper do it. You did it a second ago before you switched to Farah. Just make it a thing. Make Bastion OP on first. But it makes sense, right? You're expecting Sparker and Backbone to go back to the Sombra and the Mei, but they do have chances here to go for a change-up Rose if they so choose. Of course, being in the offense, the spawn point is so close. And hearing the Farah from a while away from the spawn room, maybe they end up switching here.
Maybe. I feel like you might have to, but Backbone's gonna rock the Mei again. Oh, wait.
Backbone.
Oh, they heard the Farah.
For a Sparker Soldier,
Yeah,
okay.
they heard the Farah. I mean, putting Sparker on Soldier is going to be your best bet at having that long-range hit scan damage to be able to deal with Nero. You got to force out that immortality field sooner from Ultraviolet, and then once that's out of the way, then you can really engage as London.
I like Backbone just running down the street. You just see him sprinting off into the distance. It just looked really funny, just away from his team. This damage is going to be crazy. A lot of damage, of course, thrown Nero's way, but hiding around these roofs is the main goal. Just sliding off them too, to recover your fuel and your jets. Oh, wow. Backbone dies to Kai. And Hardy ends up going down as well. That's, yeah, not the best position to be in. I wonder how Backbone ended up dying there. Maybe going for a hack and... I mean, yeah, maybe a Sonic Arrow too. Yeah, Kai just hit him with a 180, potentially.
Yeah, you can, okay, so you can see the Sonic Arrow at the door, Kai just continuing to try to find intelligence for the rest of the Atlanta Reign, but London have switched things up. Hotties on, so Winston. Ooh. Okay. I like it.
Well, he jumped up there to get LG shots on the Farah. Nice hack onto Nero. Hardy trying to claim some space on this small plateau. But Nero so close to this ultimate. In fact, Kai is... Dragon Strike coming up at 1%. Both DPS have ult. Supports are looking good as well for the Atlanta Reign. Like, this is not looking great for London.
No.
They got Tactical Visor. I mean, that'll be good for taking out the fire in the skies. Nice little hack, forcing the lamp. This is the time for London to attack. They're at least pushing the cart quite far up, and Nero's having to play a little bit further back now.
Oh my god. That was a little terrifying. You see that as a Farah, and you just go, oh no, please, please don't pull a lift, just jump off.
Yeah, you're kind of wondering how far the kill box is down. You're like, okay, if I touch it accidentally, I am never going to live it down.
Nope. No, that would have been bad. Oh, look.
Are they all turning? All of them turn to look at Backbone. Look at this free space on the London Spitfire. There's the Rocket Barrage. Avril and Hardy dead. Through the window, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, it was. It was through the window. Oh, that's also a lot of damage. Ultraviolet now switching to the Admiral died from the ultraviolet window there.
Yep.
Unlucky. I mean, a minute left, Rose. It feels like the London Spitfire really haven't done much at all.
No, they haven't been able to make any progress. At this point, London Spitfire are waiting for Backbone's EMP to come online, and that is going to be their last effort to be able to push this cart on a second and try to get themselves more time. It's got to be this.
EMP, Nano, Monkey, EMP, Nano, just a vanilla soldier. There it is. They're looking for the Farah, and I'm looking out for that EMP. Hardy nearing the primal rage, but it's up to Backbone to set up the rest of his team. It's not being comboed well at all. Sparker ends up going down after that, and Landon too. The London Spitfire just unable there. Maybe a bit of miscomms, not sure, because Backbone wasn't ready for that EMP at all, and they had already nanoed Hardy to go in. So, wow, that's a slightly botched engage. London Spitfire, they've got 3 ults in this last fight, but they're going to have to deal with that flux.
I don't know how they do, unless Admiral doesn't get caught in it, because Hawk's definitely getting ready for that.
Oh, it's good. OG is sinking like a stone on the other side of that building, and Sparker claims the kill. Now Nero is way more vulnerable in the air. Him right-clicks his ultraviolet. I trust him to do it, but it's going to be tough against that Farah. They're going to claim a fair bit of space. Nice shield from Hawk so he doesn't get hacked, but that feat and the speed boost ends his life. Immortality field burnt by Sparker as Hattie pops the primal rage to push everybody back off of the payload. Atlanta Rain unable to touch, and London, by the skin of their teeth, they cap first.
Hadi ends up popping the Primal Rage as well, just to make sure that he can juggle away the rest of the Atlanta Rain. But London Spitfire had to use everything. They emptied the entire bank of ultimates here to be able to capture first point. And now they've got to try to capture second if they want to have any hope of having another attempt at this. But Atlanta Rain, they can stop them here. Another window.
I mean, they almost had 5 ultimates online. Nice hack onto Nero, but that pocket and the direct straight onto Backbone's going to be good. Ooh, another filthy direct from Nero on the Lucio. Atlanta Rain had basically 5 ults. They used 2 in that fight, and they now need to defend for 1 minute and 45.
Well, the good thing about the time bank is that at least Backbone can get another EMP, and we saw that that can be very useful to be able to capture this point, but Backbone's got to get it, and Atlanta Rain is making it quite difficult for Backbone to be able to get in the back line and get any type of percentage. Oh,
man, that's not what you want to see. Nice. Used the Storm Arrows there by Kai. I think Sparker, half of him wanted a reset. Yeah, same with Backbone. Just get out, go again. You need to make this next push worth it. It's unfortunate, really. Atlanta Rain didn't blow any ults there, Rose.
No, that was what London wanted, too. They wanted to get something out of the Atlanta Rain, but at this point, Jaws, Nero's going to have another rocket barrage.
Nano, pulse ball onto Hawk. Hardy trying to block off the heels with the bubble, and it's going to be good. Hawk ends up going down. Now they need to be able to protect for the res. OG manages to get it, using that Dragon Strike for cover. And unfortunately, a pause in the action.
Oh, no.
That kind of sucks. Yeah, I feel that Backbone, I really do. Tilting his head back, wondering what's going on. That was a really nice Dragon Strike by Kai, enabling OG to get the res.
Yep.
It did go through. It's in the kill feed. I can see. I have eyes. I know, crazy. I may only have one good eye, but luckily that's all I need.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I can see it too. My eyesight's horrible, by the way. I have like the highest prescription contact lenses possible. Oh. And I can barely see anything unless it's like 4 inches in front of my face. So, yeah, if I have no corrective lenses in, I have to like squint and look really closely at things. To see.
Oh, really? Oh my!
Yeah.
You look like a 90-year-old just kind of looking.
Yeah,
at
I'm like, oh, what's that?
That's what it kind of reminds me of, just like squinting, trying to see one character at a time.
Yeah, exactly. Don't worry though, I've got my contacts in today. Looks like we're ready.
That's good. It looks like, oh, both teams are ready. That was a quick pause. Hopefully we'll get back into in just a moment. TYTY says one of the obs. Great, good stuff. Not long pause at all. Yeah, I can barely see out of my left eye. I don't wear glasses or anything. It doesn't really help. It's kind of just a thing that I've always lived with. Never known anything without it. So there you go. There's more lore for you.
Yeah, more caster lore.
We're dishing out a lot of Rose and Jaws lore over the last couple of days. There you go. I'm pausing. Sweet. We're back in the action. Like I said, OG used that Dragon Strike for cover as he rezzed Hawk. 40 seconds to go.
I mean, Nero is just poised and ready to go for another rocket barrage, and so if London Spitfire can't stop it, Backbone finally is the EMP.
Oh, what? Oh dear, that's not good. OG dies. No res, and a nice hack on Ultraviolet, forcing the lamp, and he dies as well. No ultimates from the London Spitfire, just DPS doing work. Good flux on to land him, but it's not really going to matter as Hawk is alone on the point. The Atlanta Rain Rose could potentially touch, but Reaper switch for Nero? Okay, the barrage probably not going to do much, so makes a whole lot of sense. You can speed boost in and get a lot of sustain on the point. They know OG has switched to the Lucio because he needs to get back in time. The EMP's going to be good. It hits 4. Hawk's in the front line trying to tank as much damage as possible, but gets re-hacked. Spark with the pulse bomb lobs it in. More of an AoE pulse bomb, just a zoning one, and it does its job. OG runs face first into it, trying to touch that point. Sparker with 1, 2, 3, and almost 4 kills. The London Spitfire, again, in OT, managed to get that second point, but it's very shades of Atlanta from previous round. Can they make it all the way now?
That's where it gets tough, because this third point is so difficult to capture. Second point was a lot, but third point definitely poses its own challenges, especially because Hawk now actually going to go over the Zarius, which is off the Sigma completely. And so we've got a little bit more of a brawl composition. Backbone goes down. What?
All right, okay, cool. Sweet. You know what happens in ranked? You just, like, a random person dies, you're like, okay, great. All right.
Got it.
Anyway.
GG go down.
Yeah, that's what London did. Anyway, we're going to go again. I mean, they got one more fight, right? But losing someone that early and gaining no space, not good.
No, especially because Backbone really needs to get another EMP online. That's really how London is going to be able to make it through this point, unless they're able to win the all-out brawls. But that might be tough. Ultraviolet's going to be working up to a nano here.
Good nano. Onto Hardy. Forces Kai away. He's got that visor too. If you can use that on high ground, they're going to be Gucci. Unfortunately not. Ultraviolet, Hawk die, and Atlanta Rain looking now to defend last. The London Spitfire. They earn this EMP, Rose. It could be big, but they are dealing with a nano visor in this next fight.
They are, and that is going to be difficult
10
if
seconds.
Hadi can't zone that out. Admiral doesn't have the sound barrier either, so it really does fall on Hadi's shoulders.
I like the switch up to the D.Va, just trying to protect that nano visor, but Hawk goes super low. Nade invested to try and help Hawk, and Ultraviolet goes down. Spark, are you serious? Spark just with a random flank kills Ultraviolet. He wasn't expecting it, and Kai doing absolutely nothing with the visor as Hardy was juggling him around. The EMP is also massive. Nero can't use that Wraith form to get away. He might not need to, though. No, Hardy squishes him. Goomba stomped him right on his head, and the London Spitfire looking to finish. That massive pick from Sparker could have resulted in them completing this map. Ultraviolet goes down. There's one more person left to touch, and it is Kai. He double blinks onto the payload and gets that recall off. Nero with a Death Blossom. He's so close to killing Admiral, and OG finishes the fight. OG not only killing Admiral, gets the beat off just in time. The London Spitfire 2 meters away from completing, can't quite get there. The Atlanta Rain tie the series up. One apiece.
Oh, that could have gone so differently as well if London Spitfire were able to confirm those kills from the staggers coming in from Atlanta Rain just a little bit faster. But, Jaws, this is giving me flashbacks of the London Spitfire Los Angeles Gladiators showdown that we had yesterday. London just falling touch short from that final point.
Still a close series. The London Spitfire looking up. Can they take them on the next map? It's going to be Midtown. Will we see Gator versus Hardy? The Chad Reinhardt matchup. We'll have to wait and see after this.
shots, dead in the ground. We ain't the same, pull up. 3 rounds, bro, you done. We let it rain, head pop. So look out when we in the zone. Don't play around. I got a strap, put to your back. Tell you now, we laying it down. Yeah, bands up, trapped out. I bring the dogs, gang out. Look. Don't wanna fade and drop out, got no clout. Think smart, this crucial. We ain't no average usual. Nah, we let it rain, ain't seen a savage. Who you?
Definitely one of my favorite hype videos there. And do you know what's even more hype? Beating your friends in pickups. You can now do the private leaderboards and bracket play, which is great. Be sure to get your predictions in for the upcoming Kickoff Clash for your chance to win some sweet moolah, some cash prizes, and some Overwatch League tokens to spend on some of those skins in-game, including that Luchador Reaper skin, which is out right now. So that's pretty cool. Now available on the Overwatch League mobile app. So that's great. Another way to beat your friends. That's not in a Widowmaker 1v1. Right. Third map is hybrid, Rose.
Yep.
Do you know what that could possibly mean? Quite possibly.
You gotta tell me.
Might see some subs. Might see some subs. If anybody didn't see the tweet from earlier on. But we do have a couple of substitutions for the Atlanta Reign. We have a DPS player coming in. His name is Venom, and I can imagine he's playing a little bit of that Tracer coming into Midtown. And we actually have the matchup we've been waiting for today since the top of show, the honorable Ryan Rush 1v1. We have the Atlanta Reign subbing in Gator for Midtown. Him versus Chatty. There you go. There's a tweet from this morning. Squaring up on the honorable Ryan Rush mirror. Hattie is always down.
I would be too if I were Hattie. I would be pretty confident in my Reinhardt skills, but I'm not Hattie, so maybe, I don't know how he's feeling about this actually. But it seems like he's ready to go. I guess we're getting it. I was so pumped.
It's exciting, and not only that, look at that mustache Gator is rocking in that photo. Good Lord. I've never seen a bushier mustache in my life. I didn't live in the 70s, but if I did, I can imagine they'd be everywhere. Kind of crazy. What have you spent your off-season doing? I know what Gator spent his off-season doing.
Growing a mustache?
Getting that mustache pruned up for this year, that is for sure. There you go. Gator, Hattie, Ryan 1v1 on Midtown. It's going to be good. I can't imagine we're going to see any like a Winston. Like, come on. If you're going to do something, especially if you tweet it out, you got to play it by the rules, right?
Yeah.
Gali versus Hader. But I'm actually super excited about Venom on top of this matchup of the Ryans. So the Death spoke about him just a little bit, but he's been showing up, Rose.
He has been. And in Atlanta Reign series versus the Vancouver Titans, where we did get a chance to see Gator and Venom in all 3 maps, Venom played Tracer. And so we might very well get like the Venom, maybe Sparker showdown if Sparker decides to go Tracer.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about that as we look forward to Midtown as our next map.
Yeah. A little bit of Tracer, a little bit of May. A little bit of May would make sense too against the Ryan. The Ryan mirror. Is that an honorable Ryan Rush mirror if you play May, a rather dishonest hero? Questions that need answers that I don't have.
Yeah, that is a good question. Because I feel like they want the mirror, but does Backbone provide the mirror? Oh,
there you go.
Wait, or maybe Venom goes the mirror? I don't know, but at least we can look at London Spitfire right now. They have locked in to their defensive composition. Backbone has picked the May. Hottie has picked the Ryan.
I mean, this is straight mirror, right? It's going to be. Venom's definitely going to stick on this May. But the London Spitfire, are we going to see Chatty take over Gator? I'm sure there'll be Twitter beef ensuing after this series.
There better be.
If Hottie ends up winning and London Spitfire end up winning, they've got to carry it on now. You can't sub Gator out at this point. I don't care what map's up next.
Yeah, it's got to be.
I'm a Ryan Rush mirror now.
Yes, that's all we need in this series now. Nothing else matters. It's just the Ryan versus the Ryan. As Atlanta Reign does decide to match them on it, we get the mirror.
Oh yes. The most honest heroes in Overwatch history, the Reinhardt. Rectangle man.
Yeah.
Classic, just waiting for speed boosts. Both teams. Small bit of poke back and forth.
Yeah, a little bit of high ground advantage going over to the London Spitfire, but cooldowns are starting to become available.
There you go. That's what they're waiting for, the wall. And Backbone decided that wasn't good enough. That wasn't a good enough wall either for the rain to try and capitalize on the 1v1. You just want to lock them both in a room, right, and wall each other off and just let them have it. I think that would be the best.
Yeah. What, just lock the right?
and Landon end up going down though. They just get rolled over. My word. Nice attempted wall. Backbone does end up dying, even on that miniature health bag. Okay. That's 1 for Gator, 0 for Hadi. We'll keep track.
Yeah, we're keeping track. Gator has earned that one though. Venom might have helped out just a little bit there, but good kills going over to the Atlanta Reign. They do unlock the payload, so they will be able to start moving that fire truck forward. But look how aggressive Atlanta Reign has already gotten here.
I mean, you got it. Hadi goes to the pin. Oh, narrowly misses the pin onto Venom. Doesn't matter. They created enough space for Backbone to get the headshot. Make that 2. Wow, Kai was not expecting that. Hard strafing. Oh, and a good wall. Wow, Backbone kind of popping off right now. Excellent stuff.
Yeah.
Now you can just hold close if you're London Spitfire. You have the Blizzard.
Oh, this is the perfect place too, because the doors are shut now. That fire truck has made it through. And now you have two choices. You have 2 options. You go left or do you go right as the Atlanta Reign. And you're walking into a blizzard.
There, the walls, windows getting opened up too. Backbone straight in the back line. Everybody frozen solid. He pops the block, knows the rest of his team can finish on up. That window from the Atlanta Reign tried to coax London Spitfire to back off, but wasn't going to be. Venom also used the Blizzard in that engagement, but London Spitfire came out on top, and now it's what we've been waiting for. The Shatter versus Shatter. Ooh. We'll keep track of them.
Yep.
Better Rhyme wins.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to.
Oh, Better Rhyme wins. Hadi lays it down first. Gator doesn't end up dying, but they got a key pick. Ultraviolet going all the way back to spawn. Atlanta Reign cannot fight without the Batiste.
No, I mean, the fact that Ultraviolet got caught in that too meant that the immortality field couldn't come down. And you're just going to back off here. Gator recognizes that you can't go in without your Baptiste, but Gator's turn.
Oh,
nobody.
Unlucky. That's a 1 for 0 for Hadi. That wall is in his way. It's not in the way of Gator. Nice little flank with the fire strike, killed off Backbone, and a pin kill for Gator. They may have won the fight, but Hadi's still up on the Shatter count. And now they can take the high ground with ease.
Yeah. Ooh, Sparker goes down with OG. OG gets to go back pretty quickly though as a Lucio, so that's not too bad. But London Spitfire can't take the high ground away from Atlanta here unless they decide to go in with the sound barrier or they use Sparker's tactical visor as a zoning ultimate. Sparker's going to want to probably get behind Atlanta Reign here and try to get an off angle. Pop this visor.
Potentially. Hadi gets walled off. Another wall coming up. Almost playing Tetris. Some of them are collapsing. There's both beats from either team. Kai gets pinned. Is going pretty low. Can he escape? Of course he can't. Landon cleans up Venom. And now this is the Reinhardt 1v1 that I wanted to see. Just 2 people, 2 chads stuck in a stairwell. It's unfortunate that the rest of London Spitfire were in there as well.
Yeah, and the rest of
but
Atlanta
London Spitfire take the win in that fight.
Gator had no backup. That's not fair. Gator had no backup. Well, maybe he'll have some here though. He does have another Earth Shatter. So does Hadi. Let's get ready for the count, Jaws.
Window, Shatter. Ooh, blocked and blocked. Ice block and just the Rhine blocking up. Venom, however, lays down that Blizzard. That got absolutely nothing. In fact, negative. I guess it gained space, but unfortunate. The Shadow from Gator's a little bit better, but Hadi just throws in that fire strike so he can't finish off Landon. Landon unfortunately falls to Venom's hands, but the Spitfire still holding strong.
Yeah, no, Blizzards didn't work. Gator's Shatter didn't work either. Neither did Hadi's. So what do we put negative points for that, Jaws? I'm not.
The Shadow still landed. I think that's a point for Gator. That's one apiece.
Okay.
Oh, Sparker ends up falling. Hadi now has to retreat way back. That's a nice little perch from Kai.
Yeah, he's got a nice off angle there. He's probably going to work around the bus, get that rotation in, try to find an opportunity to use his tactical visor while London Spitfire are trying to enter.
Wrap around from the London Spitfire. There's the visor from the high ground for Sparker. Kai on the low ground popping his. He gets walled off, but yeah, almost no damage being exchanged, as both Reinhardt shields were in the way, or just like general cover, which Kai was skirting around. London Spitfire in a favorable position, having a DPS on the high ground, but now Kai's going to rotate up. Huddy charges straight into a lamppost, doesn't bend at all. Somehow in the future they've made indestructible everything. I don't know how they've done it, but I like to see a future where that happens. Gator falls Ultraviolet 2 just before this second point, and Atlanta Reign thinking they can win this fight. OG unleashes the beat. There's 25 seconds to go, maybe just stalling out with the beat, but I'd expect you want that for this overtime fight, or maybe they wouldn't even get it. OG dies, a pulse bomb onto Backbone's going to be good from Venom, came back on the Tracer and already earned himself an ult. There is 10 seconds to go as Gator tries to approach the payload.
Yeah, but Backbone's going to be coming back into this with a Blizzard. Hottie almost has the Earth Shatter up again.
Nice window from the high ground for the Atlanta Reign, forcing the rest of London Spitfire back. Venom's in the back line of London, trying to cause havoc. Sparker ends up going down, 4v5 now. Venom hits the recall and trying to focus down the supports. The shatter from Hadi is good. It kills Gator and the Immortality Field. He now needs to swing for the fences to pick up some more kills. Landon with a nice off angle, and Hardy still holding down the fort. Kai is dead, round is over, and the Atlanta Reign stopped before second.
All right, I think Earth Shatter count right now, Hottie's winning. Hottie's winning, and it shows, because London Spitfire were able to stop the payload just shy of that second point, and this is a very winnable position now that the London Spitfire have found themselves in. As long as they're able to win out that final fight, because Jaws, that's where they falter, right there at the finish line. They've got to make it through this time.
Got to do it. This match has been incredibly close. Look at Circuit Royale. Both teams making it to the final point. London just getting stopped 2 meters before. Same kind of story. Oh, Gator, come on now. Come on now. No!
What?
He switched to the Winston.
That's dishonorable, mate.
That is very dishonorable. Come on now. I mean, he played Ryan for 1 round, sure, but oh man,
Well, he's
really switching over.
He's a quitter. He's a quitter. He got beat by Hottie for Earth Shatters, and now he's a quitter. He's going over to the Winston dive. Unlucky.
Yeah, maybe they feel more comfortable on
No,
the defense.
They do, I'm sure.
And remember the stakes that are on the line too. Worth
yes.
keeping in mind. If Atlanta win, they are in the kickoff clash.
Yeah.
And London are out, so
They can't play around.
definitely forgivable.
Yeah.
This was more of a regular season, like early on. Yeah, maybe less forgivable.
Well, Backbone was asleep. So London Spitfire do have to wait just a little bit before they start going through the train. Just waiting, though. Okay. Giving Atlanta Reign a little bit of the bait and switch, because they are going to go below the train now, right around the buildings. Nice flank coming through.
Yeah, nice wall. Stop a lot of that damage coming in. They want to be able to get Sparker up to the high ground and then just trickle onto the payload just like this. Gator's going to have a little bit more of a tough time getting damage in. Nice anti onto Hardy, but Kai falls to Backbone, who's actually getting escorted around by Admiral right now. Backbone eventually falls asleep from all the work he's been doing, and it didn't really matter because he still had Ice Block available. The Atlanta Reign just falling to pieces. This is what happens when you switch off the Reinhardt, apparently.
Yeah.
London Spitfire taking the point. Atlanta Reign could touch. Gator is up. Venom can also juggle the point, but question is, will they do it? Triple Blink might get there in time. No, Venom says not today, and wow, look at that. 5 minutes on the time bank now.
That's so much time to be able to push this payload forward. You can see Atlanta Reign questioning whether they wanted to go in and contest, but setting up on the high ground here is way more important to try to stop the London Spitfire, especially when Ultraviolet has the nano boost available for this next fight. Venom also in a prime position to be able to use this pulse bomb. This could finish the fight here, and this would be a very strong defensible position for the Atlanta Reign.
Be quite an easy defensible position, especially if Venom kills the support with this pulse bomb. Sparker is anti, does play safe. London Spitfire, no, they can just creep forward. Kai goes down once again to Backbone, and Venom gets punished for being in the backline. Pulse bomb did absolutely nothing, and now Sparker could just lay waste to the rest of the team. He doesn't even need to pop the tactical visor. Gate is in a whole world of hurt. Backbone finds yet another skull to add to his trophy cabinet in Ultraviolet, and London Spitfire looking good. 5 ultimates are lining up. The Atlanta Reign, they're in trouble.
Especially because Hadi's able to push forward, and look how many ultimates London Spitfire have. Jaws, they won that engagement without using anything, and they forced out the nano, the pulse bomb, and the primal rage from Gator. London Spitfire could totally clutch it out here.
Window tactical visor or a flank tactical visor from Sparker, maybe. Gator's so low, he already used primal rage in the last fight, they just run over him. The shatter hits the ground, misses Venom, but it doesn't matter. They're still pushing the cart along. 3 minutes and 30 seconds for only a couple more meters. Backbone is dead. Kai gets revenge. That's one ultimate out of the picture. Kai on a nice off angle is going to be able to subdue the London Spitfire, and it looks like they want to go again. They know they have time and ultimates to spare.
Unfortunately, they do lose their ultimate advantage. Atlanta Reign have caught up to them. They have the pulse bomb available again. Plus, they also have that tactical visor. They don't have the nano to be able to add on to that. But London also don't have that available because they're running the Baptiste instead. So the biggest thing here is, does this Blizzard hit? Backbone's got to be able to stop some of this Atlanta Reign, but they're all super mobile, so it might just not be more than zoning.
Oh, Venom's pulse! Oh, so good. Lamp
missed it?
Fractions of a second too late. And Spitfire lose their Lucio, they lose their Mei, they lose their Bap, and they lose the fights. One ult wonder for the Atlanta Reign there.
That's okay though. I mean, Landon's going to be able to reset. That Immortality Field will be able to come back online relatively quickly. And London Spitfire didn't throw any ultimates at that. So they can walk away pretty happy, and they can go again with trying to get this tactical visor and this Blizzard to work.
Venom's in the back. He's already got 50% towards another ultimate. Postman coming online rather soon.
That's scary, too. Especially if it's able to land onto Landon or Admiral.
Yeah. Oh, Ultraviolet. No, he's good. Still a rotation. There's the nano onto Gator. Blizzard comes out, gets absolutely nobody, but London Spitfire used the space that is created. Ultraviolet is now down. The Atlanta Reign struggling to keep an eye into this fight. Gator, however, popping the primal rage, killing 2. London Spitfire with 3, Atlanta with 4 as people trickle in from the spawn. Kai once again goes down to Backbone. A pulse bomb lands on Hadi, but with that extra defense of the tanks, it's a little bit more difficult for them to go down nowadays. Gator still absolutely destroying on the Winston. There's a couple of meters to go. Hadi gets another pin kill. Ultraviolet falls, but they end up losing that fight. There's 3 minutes left with 50 seconds to go. Are we going to be in Circuit Royale 2.0? Are London Spitfire going to lose the final second?
Oh, I don't know. It's getting so close. But at least Atlanta Reign don't have any ultimates, so if you're a London Spitfire fan, you're hoping that Hadi hits this shatter. Oh, they've got to hit
the best way for London to end this, for sure. Just hitting a big shatter. There wouldn't be a more London way to do it. He's waiting. He's biding his time. The lamp's already been used. The Gator actually just falls over. OG's in the back line, but London Spitfire can just move on forward. The Shadow's there. It absolutely crumples Venom, and Sparker takes care of OG. The London Spitfire have done it. It's no Circuit Royale 2.0. Midtown is theirs. Match point for the London Spitfire. And Atlanta Reign, they saddle up to London. They try and take the Rhine 1v1, and they got laid to waste by Hadi.
Oh my goodness. poor Atlanta don't look happy about that either. I don't know if we're gonna see the Reinhardt versus Reinhardt anymore, Jaws. I feel like London Spitfire might have shut them up about that.
We'll have to see. I mean, do we see Gator stepping back? He's walking away from his PC, so maybe Hawk steps back in. Ilios is next. It's Control. London Spitfire on match point, and people's bread's about to be boomed. We'll see in a bit after this break.
For the London Spitfires, The more time and effort you put in, that eventual reward tastes all the sweeter.
Seen some aggressive plays from them in the past. What is that? That is style points, sir.
The most winningest roster that EU Contenders has ever put together. They dominated their domestic scene in Europe.
But the London Spitfire, they can taste it. Victory is on the horizon.
That is oh my god, Poco!
Holt's coming through, that's a post bomb. Shax clutching it up. And it's another day in the office. I'm going with the London Spitfire.
Well, you match the Rhine Rush mirror, and that's what you get. 2 maps to the London Spitfire, and only 1 to the Atlanta Reign. London Spitfire, they need to win this game to stand a chance of going to the Kickoff Clash, and they're putting on a show right now, Rose.
They are, and this map is even more important because, as we were saying, Jaws, they only have a shot of making it to the Kickoff Clash if they win with a 3-0, which is out of the question, or a 3-1. So London Spitfire do have to close it out here. The 3-2 won't cut it.
No, we're going to Ilios. Control map. Hardy, is he going to play Rhine? Maybe. Maybe. Winston seems a little bit more viable on a lot of these maps, but you can still play the Rhine. Hunker down on that point. Will the Atlanta Reign be subbing anybody out? That is the question. We'll have to wait and see. It doesn't look like London have 1 sub. Backbone stepping away. Shax coming in, Rose.
Yeah, so that tells me that London Spitfire really wants to run this double hit scan. Maybe keep Sparker on the Soldier because, whoo, he's on fire right now, Jaws. That tracking has been immaculate coming out from that player, and Backbone definitely putting on a good performance, but Shaq's Tracer definitely fares a little bit better on this next map.
Yeah, Atlanta Reign, by the way, don't have any subs, so they're still sticking with Kai and Venom is what I'm hearing right now, and Gator staying in. So, Gator versus Hattie, once again, the showdown going to step up. I'm wondering, I'm really wondering if they do go to the Winston here. I don't think you really want to practice against the team, or not even, sorry, I'm not sure you've had a lot of practice against the team that almost exclusively runs the Brawl, the Rhine Brawl. So jumping back onto the Winston for Gator, that seems the most likely here, especially it being Ilios too.
Well, you know, and the other thing that we have to look at is that Midtown didn't go that badly for Atlanta Reign when they ended up switching over to the Winston. And maybe that map could have even been a little bit different if that Reinhardt versus Reinhardt didn't happen. So Gators, Winston, definitely looking very good. And so if we do see the Winston versus Winston here, you're going to look towards the DPS to really kick things up a notch for both of these teams.
Yeah, Shax is only just coming in too, so maybe not completely warmed up, but I wouldn't knock that against Shax, to be honest with you. That guy's a bit of a monster on the DPS. Spark has been looking great. Also, Backbone too. They're taking him out, but Backbone's been looking great on the mate. Like, the amount of first-time picks he's getting on people like Kai is kind of incredible.
Yeah, I mean, those headshots from across the map have been really good, and then you also get a chance to see how Backbone was able to perform with even just using the ice block a little bit more sparingly, and those walls coming in really clutch. But Shax is going to be in for the London Spitfire as we do look forward to our next map in this series. And the London Spitfire have to win Ilios. There's no other option.
But they would need some help to stay alive too. A lot of their potential of making the Kickoff Clash does rely on other circumstances.
True.
Other circumstances a little bit down the road. So a lot of maths involved there. Not nearly smart enough to work it out in my head right now.
It has something to do with Washington Justice, I feel like, because they are one of the other teams that have not secured their spot to the Kickoff Clash. We have 6 teams already that have clinched spots. Atlanta Reign could be one of them if they're able to tie up this series and win out the map 5. But London's not out of it yet.
Yeah, if they win, they're in.
Yep.
That's it.
That's right.
Yeah, so this is what I thought would happen. So no more chatty on the Rhine. It's going to be Winston versus Winston. Now this is probably a comp that the Atlanta Reign play against in scrims a little bit more often.
Yeah.
This Winston dive with the Soldier and the Tracer.
Yeah, but even when you take a look at it that way, you know, we have seen how Sparker is able to take these really nice off angles, so that could be very beneficial here as well, but that Symmetric Teleporter actually helping out Atlanta Reign just a little bit to make it to mid sooner, but Shax actually beats everybody to the point.
Yeah, there's a lot of speediness on both teams, so kind of makes sense, but Shax, yeah, he's got his new J's on, I guess. Now just posturing for the dive. Thing is that Arnath really want to get herself on the high ground. It's so easy for Arnath. As soon as you are more dominant on height, you can nade point really easily. You can force the other Ana off the high ground. Atlanta Reign do end up having the point first. Wow, Venom went super low, forcing both recalls, so Venom doesn't want to go aggro. OG does. Chases down Shax, and now Gator fighting in a small room against both supports. Already 50% towards an ult, and they're just buying time. Unfortunate sleep onto Gator, solo. 180 jump out of there, and he's safe.
Yeah, first cap going over to the Atlanta Reign. London Spitfire do have to get reset here. Shax, very slow on this pulse bomb generation.
Oh, Venom not so quite though. But one pulse bomb, one kill. They do trade. Ana for a monkey. A lot less sustain on the side of the London Spitfire. Hence why Sparker goes down. Oh, Venom is chasing up Hardy, just punishing this Winston going for these dives. Atlanta Reign in a good spot.
Yeah, I mean, Venom is just outpacing Shax by a mile. Pulse Bomb already 50% towards generation again for Venom. Ultraviolet has the nano boost online too. Landon not up there just yet either. Some big damage coming through. London should be able to get their ultimates online though before they take this next engage.
Nano boost onto Gator. He's going to get a Primal Rage off of that one if he just left click someone for half a second.
Oh.
Hadi goes down. Yeah, so London really struggling. 6 ultimates almost online for this final fight. The Atlanta Reign haven't invested a whole lot though, Rose. Like, they invest Nano, and they're going to have 4 ultimates for last.
They're just getting so much value.
All they need to do is poke a little bit, and they're good.
So much value out of the ultimates. And that poke is certainly going to help here to get OG's Sound Barrier online. But London Spitfire got 5.
Nicely. Nicely. Pulse bomb for Venom. Goes wide. Hardy goes purple and has to use the Primal Rage to stay alive. Tactical Visor on top of that. Nano for Sparker. He's trying to chase down the supports. They have the beat, but nothing matches the auto-aim with the extra damage. Kai camping in a corner using that bubble to good effect. London Spitfire, they had 5 ultimates going into the fight. Now they have 2 for the next one. They eventually cap. The Atlanta Reign now, this is their chance to find this one fight and this first round.
Well, that's big because Gator actually initiated that fight with the Primal Rage. Didn't work. OG had to follow up with the Sound Barrier on top of that Nano Visor coming out from London Spitfire. So Ultimate Economy is in the way of the London Spitfire right now, as long as Shax finds value with this Pulse Bomb. But Sparker gets so low already.
Oh my goodness, Venom is destroying on this Tracer right now. Beautiful Pulse Bomb from Shax. Kills Ultraviolet. No nano for this Visor, so it's merely a tickle rather than a punch. And now Hardy trying to contest that point. The Atlanta Reign try and force a little something here. A little bit too much. Gator takes too much damage. Ultraviolet being dead has to only rely on the Lucio healing. And now the London Spitfire need to be able to juggle control back. They actually let the point go completely. Shax wasn't there in time to stop that flip. And now the Atlanta Reign coming in droves to try and flip the point again, but Venom comes up massive with a double pulse. Venom is absolutely doubling down on Shax right now. Almost double his damage.
Yeah.
36% of the team's damage. Venom is just going crazy.
Score.
Yeah.
1-0.
Yeah. That was Venom. That was Venom. That was deadly. Holy moly, London Spitfire are struggling now. Shax just can't keep up. And even taking a look at this replay here, let's see that double pulse bomb. The stick onto Hottie. Takes out Admiral with him.
Yeesh.
Ouch.
Yeah. That's like a, just stand still moment, but like you're already in the air as the Lucio, like so hard to dodge. Final round for the London Spitfire here. If they lose this one, Rose, they don't make it to the kickoff clash. Atlanta Reign need to win, and they are in. They need to win 2 maps. Not only this one, but the next one.
Yep, that's right. Atlanta Reign, this is their series to lose now. Yeah, Hadi is.
Oh, what a nade! Can Shax follow up with this couple of kills? Easy clap, maybe? No, it has to go for the recoil after killing Ultraviolet. That was an unreal nade from Landon. Sparker ends up dying. Hadi went aggro and just landed on the platform and then insta-dropped and just got rolled. Both Traces, yeah, Shax trying to pick up the pace, trying to match Venom from last round. Almost gets the 1 clip, but OG with a double boot kill.
OG, we're putting in some work. Gonna have that sound barrier online with 50% more to go. But we're really looking right now at Venom once again. I mean, Shax is keeping up with a bit of a better pace this time around, but Venom is gonna have another pulse bomb when London Spitfire walk in.
Again, just crazy gap. Oh. Gator falling first. Not great. Landon is asleep. Can the Reign capitalize off this? Yes, they can. Ultraviolet finds the kill on his life for life. The London Spitfire still putting on the pressure. Knowing that Gator's not in the fight for the next couple of seconds, they can just storm onto the point. Well, again, these nades from Ultraviolet are crazy. Nades in the sleeps just ending the support's careers. Another big sleep onto Sparker. Wow, Ultraviolet showing up.
Yeah, this has been some big stuff coming out from this player. Landon, though, does get a pretty big ante, but that's not going to help out the London Spitfire right now, as they can't even get close enough to the point to actually contest it. London have got to open up something here with the ultimates that they are generating. They're going to have 5 full slate online for this next fight. And they don't have time to waste here, Jaws. Atlanta Reign, they're working up to that last fight territory.
Yeah, if this fight takes any longer, if it's not explosive, it will be last fight, that's for sure. Nano available. Kai in range. Ultraviolet hitting that nano visor could be what they need. Venom dies to Landon somehow, but it's still like, this is going to be last fight. Oh, beautiful nade. Instant nano onto the visor, trying to clutch this fight out. Kai and Sparker, they find one of these, but no. Kai finds 2. Shax tries to run away. He tried to lob the pulse bomb in, but went wide. 97% now for the Atlanta Reign to claim this map and take it to a map 5. The London Spitfire needs something special, but it ain't gonna happen. Another unreal stick from Venom as the monkey soars through the air into his grave. Kai follows up with the kill. The map goes to Atlanta Reign. We're going to a game 5, but London see their chances of the kickoff clash fade away.
Yeah, that's it. London Spitfire mathematically cannot make it to the kickoff clash now. They can still hold their heads high, though. They have been putting up a heck of a fight versus the Atlanta Reign and could still win this series.
Still very possible. They still want to play upset potential, right?
Yep.
The Atlanta Reign need this next map, and then they are guaranteed a place in the kickoff clash. There you go, monkey versus monkey. Gator came out on top. We're going to jump to a quick break. We got Push coming up next for your map 5. We're going to Coliseum. We'll see you in a sec. The London Spitfire can still play upset. Unfortunately, they can't make it the kickoff clash, but Atlanta Reign can if they win this next map. My word, has it been a series so far? Hardy versus Gator, we're still seeing it. Maybe a little Ryan from Gator. We have Nero stepping in, and we have Backbone stepping in. So yeah, London Spitfire, they're playing Ryan Rush, Rose.
Yep.
We know that, for sure.
Yep.
Venom taking a back seat after a quiet performance, mind you, on the Tracer.
Yeah.
Really well.
I mean, I definitely understand the Nero sub back in, though. If you're looking at Coliseum, Nero just has synergy with Kai playing together just a little bit more. They also played at the beginning of the series together. But Venom, we've seen some pretty nasty Tracer play. So, I don't know. Maybe just putting the faith in Nero to be able to clutch this series out.
Yeah, I mean, Venom did play the Mei also. And
that's true.
It didn't look as good as his Tracer.
No,
that is for sure. Like, he was doubling the damage of Shax when he was in, so worth keeping in mind. Come on, Gator, you got to do it, bro.
Really?
Final map of the series, potentially. You can draw. It is possible. If you get it to the checkpoint, the robot does wait there for a little while, so it is possible. But very, very unlikely. But we know London rolling out with it. Chatty to finish out the series would be great. Just a big shatter.
I'm excited.
And the dreams of the Atlanta Reign.
I'm pretty pumped. I'm pretty pumped to see the Chatty Reinhardt come back out. But it's really about what decides to support that. You know, Sparker, Backbone, it's possible they run with something a little bit different, but I kind of imagine that Backbone is going to switch back over to the Mei before those doors open. Yeah, and wait a minute.
It's Nero Mei, okay.
Nero Mei?
They're doing it. They're doing it.
Okay, then. Maybe Nero will look better on the Mei than Shax did. Shax made up for it on the Tracer for sure, but we're getting the mirror again. Out
of the locker room, straight into the gym. They're ready to rock and roll. Sparker with an unreal flank right now, just running off into the distance. There you go. He's up on the high ground. Oh, Nero taking a lot of damage already. Quite self-sustained, of course, the soldier, and there's a miniature health pack right next to him if he really needs it. Big wall to separate Gator. Ultraviolet jumping straight over it. Nero not quite so lucky. No jump. And death for the rest of Atlanta Reign. Oh, dearie me. The Chatty has stepped into the gym. He's picked up the heaviest weights, and he's carrying them to the finish line.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Maybe put Hottie in front of the barricade. Let him push the thing forward. He's good enough. Yeah, he could do it for sure. But at least Atlanta Reign, they can come back into this one. Landon, though, working up to that amplification matrix.
Nice bit of high ground, though, Atlanta Reign have. Sparker had to back off super fast. This is not a place you want to be if you're Reinhardt, that is for sure, in a small cafe, and not where you want to be if you're supports either. Beautiful wall by Nero. One swing, 2 kills for Gator as they reclaim control of the robot. Hardy knows it's over. At least get it 35 meters or so. Decent push to start us off.
Yeah, Atlanta Reign is certainly going to be able to match that, but with London Spitfire coming out of spawn, they get to give it back to the Atlanta Reign a little bit. That high ground is just so difficult to be able to push that barricade past, and also look at Sparker in the back line.
Perma on the, like the longest flanks in history. That was lucky. Ultraviolet just hit him with a jump real quick. Jumped over those missiles. Big shatter from Gator. In fact, I think that interrupted Huddy's shatter. It could well have done, but Huddy still gets the better of Gator somehow. 3 people on their backs for the London Spitfire, but they just walk over them anyway. Backbone is still just running around these columns. He needs that block to get his health back. OG from a distance. Sparker chunked him out, and Backbone just headshot him to finish him off. The Atlanta Rain had the bigger shatter, but Huddy had the bigger hammer.
Yeah, just gonna swing away at that one. The robot, though, gonna continue to start moving forward. Hadi's pretty low here. Half. Landon, gonna heal him up, bro. Yeah, okay, he's good. Definitely need full health, though, as the Atlanta Rain start walking back here with that tactical visor, and of course the sound barrier on top of that too for extra sustain.
Kai with the smaller flank. Oh, what an unreal shot from Ultraviolet in the back, finishing up on that damage from Kai. The beats for the Atlanta Rain. I mean, this is a one fight, like through and through. As soon as you lose your Batista early. Nice flank from Kai, and Ultraviolet following up on that call.
Yeah, gonna start making some more progress as well, as we do see Gator start to get pretty aggressive. They want to try to take the high ground advantage away from the London Spitfire, not allowing them to set up here on top of the car wash.
Yeah, just jostling on these stairs, never a bad thing. Don't want to give them free space, like you mentioned. Nice burst. Oh, wow. Nice fire strike. Window for Landon. The rest of the team sitting behind it. Gator peeking on the stairs on a window. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Sparker on the opposite high ground. You want to take control of that ASAP. The Atlanta Rain weren't expecting that. They do get it further, however, than London Spitfire, 10 meters further.
Yeah, but London Spitfire are hustling back with that robot, making sure that there's plenty of people there, so it's moving as quickly as possible. Sparker has gone back on the flank with the Soldier 76. So hopefully that doesn't catch Atlanta Rain by surprise again, because Sparker's quite close to that tactical visor.
Shatter versus Shatter, though.
True.
Deary me, who's going to win out this time? Gator hit 3, but Hardy not the best spot. He's looking at the backline. Hardy hits 1, and it insta-kills Nero. Gator, he hits a couple too, but there's no teammates to follow up on because Hardy had them all on their backs. Landon takes care of Ultraviolet. The Rhine Rush mirror is going London's way.
Yeah, and just like that as well, with the resets coming through here, London Spitfire will take the lead again before Atlanta Rain are able to come out of spawn, which means that Hadi can just go meet them right there. They can't take the high ground advantage. Atlanta Rain might struggle to be able to stop this payload from reaching that first checkpoint.
Rushing quickly to the high ground of the Atlanta Rain. Oh, Nero's in trouble. Backbone landed a headshot there. His life would have been over. Nero jumps in the block. That Blizzard's good. Nero finished off Hardy in the chaos. But luckily, the Blizzard and the Lamp was killed. Backbone, unfortunately, goes down. OG picking up a lot of those kills in that engagement. London Spitfire getting 10 more meters in Atlanta Rain. This is tit for tat, Rose.
Yep.
Ever so close. It's been throughout this whole series, just coming down to the wire. There's 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and now it comes down to the tactical visors, right? It was about the Earth Shatters, now it's about the dueling tac visors. You can see Sparker and Kai are actually battling it out over there. Kai's down.
Oh, okay. Kai went for a flank, but Sparker had backup. There's the beat from the Atlanta Rain. They want to be able to win. 2 shatters coming online rather soon. A clutch beat from Apple, though, saves Hardy's life. Gator, you want to save that shatter for the next fight. There's no way you win this one. Sparker just cleaning up on this soldier. Kai tried once again for one of those cheeky flanks with the visor, but unfortunately got found out, and the lack of damage just forced Atlanta Rain to try and go in with the beat.
Well, that was really big too, because Admiral was there to back up Sparker. And so Admiral sometimes being able to support those flanks makes a really big difference when it comes down to those 1v1s, because a little dishonorable. But we do have ults here as we try to battle it out once again. 1 minute 40 on the clock.
Visor on the flank, Gator struggling where to look. The shadow goes into the shield, both shields in fact, but Sparker's still on the flank. Someone's got to deal with him. Gator dies to a boot. The London Spitfire winning this fight, not until Kai has something to say about it. Kills the Lamp, the Bat, and the May.
Can he find more kills? It's up to Kai to try and win this fight. OG comes in clutch and kills Admiral, but Sparker is still alive and well. The payload moved a couple more meters. The London Spitfire have to bid adieu to it, though. A big regroup with only a minute to go. The London Spitfire so close to taking this 5-map series.
They very well might. I mean, with 60 seconds remaining, Backbone has another Blizzard online. We saw how this one went last time, though. Nero was able to get that online afterwards, and that ended up paying off dividends for the Atlanta Reign. Backbone can't let that happen.
Markovus, Kai. They just chase each other off. Blizzard available for Backbone. This is it. This is what they got to do, Rose. They have to make this massive. They actually decide to back all the way up. Nero throws out the Blizzard, but a counter Blizzard from Backbone. Can they kill Gator? He's trapped. No lamp to be had, and Gator dies. 25 seconds to go as London Spitfire surge forwards.
Oh my gosh, that lamp came in too late, and now look at Backbone chasing down Ultraviolet. The Baptiste is gone.
Beautiful couple of icicles. There's 14 seconds to go with no main healer for the Atlanta Reign. This could be all over. Gator comes back just in time to end Backbone's life. Hardy now fighting in a lamp, trying to protect Landon with his life, but he ends up falling. Hardy doesn't want to shatter. He just wants to remove people from the payload, remove some more HP, but now it's final fight territory for the Atlanta Reign. It's once again going to be Shatter versus Shatter.
Yeah, but that was huge that Hottie was able to hold on to it, because this robot is going to have to get to the barricade and then start pushing. So, London Spitfire have plenty of time to be able to get back. Ultraviolet does have a window that London are going to have to play around to be able to touch this point.
OT's here, Hardy lining up, Gator 3% away from a Shatter. Shaddy could very well do it. A visor from the high ground from Sparker, ends OG already. The beat from Admiral does manage to get 3, and Hardy staying alive. Both Shatters have been blocked, but Sparker just dominating the Atlanta Reign backline. Gator needs assistance on the payload as he's killed off Hardy, but Kai ends his own life with the rockets. The Atlanta Reign need to be able to touch this payload. Gator going so low. The supports from the Spitfire have done it. The London Spitfire 3-2 the Atlanta Reign and take home the dub. The Atlanta Reign now still need to battle their way to the kickoff clash. They're not in it just yet. They needed this win, but couldn't quite get it.
Wow, London Spitfire playing spoiler to the Atlanta Reign's plans. And this is such a big win for the London Spitfire, because this feels like a turning point, Jaws. They may not have been able to mathematically make it into the kickoff clash, but boy, oh boy, does it feel good as the London Spitfire and as a fan to see them be able to take the series 3-2. Huge stuff for that team.
The Ryan versus Ryan mirror rush.
Didn't work
London
out.
went out. Who's really surprised? Johnny apparently not very surprised. Johnny predded this game.
True.
London Spitfire. The rest of the desk, not quite so lucky. Predded Atlanta. What an amazing couple of days already for the London Spitfire. They take a game off the Gladiators, and now in a 5-map series, they win against the Atlanta Reign, denying them a place today in the kickoff clash. The Atlanta Reign still need to come out swinging. They're not in it just yet. Let's have a look at the player of the match, though. I mean, we got to give it to him, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be Chatty on the Rhine. Like, this guy brought it home. Wasn't too strong on the Winston Rose, but the Reinhardt, his bread and butter, showed up.
I mean, you know what? I still think the Winston was fine. I think Hottie has really shown that, you know, while he looked like a Reinhardt one-trick, and yes, that is definitely his comfort zone, you can see so many good examples of that in this series today, Hottie is still coming out with the Winston and being able to clutch things out when it does matter. You got to give a little bit of credit to him for sure, but the Reinhardt Earth Shatter race definitely went in his favor.
That was one of the tipping points of the match there. Hottie just crunching Nero with the Shatter.
Yeah.
Does more damage if it's closer to you now, so worth keeping in mind. Hardy, what a dominant performance then. Charging Gator away from his team, like, wow. Crazy stuff from Chatty. 3-3 now. The London Spitfire, they unfortunately don't make it to the kickoff clash, but still, rising and grinding. Sigma Male grind set from the London.
I mean, they had quite a disastrous year last year, and it's kind of proven you stick them with the team, add a couple of bits and pieces here and there, but you really are seeing now massive signs of improvement.
You are. This is definitely the turning point. I mean, even with the map score of London Spitfire versus the Los Angeles Gladiators, might have been 3-1, but take a look at how close those losses were on those maps, right? So if you're a London Spitfire fan, I think you're pretty happy now that they might have a good shot in this season. First quarter, not quite going their way, but they're turning it around, Joss.
Yeah, very close maps. Very close. Circuit Royale, by a hair, did Atlanta Reign win that. Literally the very last point, like crazy stuff. Will there be more upsets today? We'll have to wait and find out. I think I want to hear from the desk. I really do. I really do. I want to see what Johnny has to say and how big his grin is on his face. After this break, we'll see what those guys are thinking and how many people have their head in their hands. We'll see in a bit. Thank you so much for watching.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Upper Deck, the official trading card of the Overwatch League. And by TeamSpeak, the official voice supplier of the Overwatch League.
Welcome to Game Break, everybody. I'm here joined now by the Giga Chad, the best Reinhardt in the West, Hadi from London Spitfire. How are you doing, Hadi? Congratulations on the win.
Doing great.
That was so entertaining to watch.
Yeah, very good series. Thank you.
And yeah, good series. And I think a lot of Overwatch fans will be happy because we finally got that Brawl Mirror matchup. So it was really fun to watch. I mean, starting off, my first question to you. Your teammate Backbone mentioned that Atlanta refuses to scrim against the London Spitfire. After hearing that and going into today's match, did that worry you at all, or did that sort of allow the London team to come up with surprises against the Atlanta?
I mean, I can tell you guys a little backstory to that, because the reason they blacklisted us actually is because we won a scrim versus them. So then they blacklisted us, and I think that's kind of weird. I feel like it's just because their ego got hurt, losing to the London Spitfire in a scrim, their ego gets hurt. but now they also lose to the London Spitfire in an official. So I don't know how their ego must look now. It's all over the place. I don't really know.
Oh, true that. Yeah, I mean, Atlanta. Yeah, I don't know. After that, also in this match, I do want to also ask. I think it was mid-time where we saw the first Brawl Mirror matchup, and then I think I got super excited. And then I think it was this was where Atlanta was on attack, and then after the attack ended, they sort of switched out of the Brawl Mirror duel, and then he switched to the Winston. When you saw that happen, what was going through your head, Hadi? What were you thinking when you saw Gator on the Winston again?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like Gator had a lot of confidence that he could beat him in the Rhine matchup, but then I think he lost most of the confidence after we held him on the second point. So I was very happy about that. I was very confident we're gonna win once I saw them on Monkey. I mean, to be honest, I was kind of confident we're gonna win either, even if they will keep Rhine, but I was still happy to see that.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, you guys haven't won the match or the map yet, but I mean, I think it's safe to say that you sort of won at that point because he switched off the mirror matchup. Yeah. So you already got the win before the map ended. All right. Last question for you. Of course, you guys got the win, but unfortunately, London Spitfire couldn't make it to the Kickoff Clash tournament. But I mean, we're talking a lot about this mirror matchup and everything because Atlanta Reign is another team that have been known and been famous for that brawl composition. So what does winning against Atlanta Reign today mean for you, Hadi?
I mean, I'm really happy about it. Like you said, it's bittersweet since we had to 3-0 Atlanta, so we kind of had to pull our heads back up after we lost one map to be able to pull the series through. But I'm still very happy about it because we like to play the rush comps, we like to play the Rhine comps, and now it's finally proven that we are the top of the rush teams in the mirror matchup as well.
Right. Definitely. And I'm just going to add one last question. We won't be seeing you until the next tournament cycle. So what can the fans, London Spitfire fans, expect from London Spitfire next tournament?
I think we're really on an upwards trend right now. I think we're doing really well. We have a great team. We have a great atmosphere, everything. I hope we're going to see a lot of more wins and hope we see a lot of more Reinhardt as well from us.
Yes! All right, Hadi, that concludes the interview. Thank you so much, and hope to talk to you soon, okay? Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
And that was Hadi from the London Spitfire. Hadi probably not the only person really happy right now. Right. I think Jonathan is probably doing a little victory dance around his box, and I loved the insight there as well from Hadi.
I hate it.
Honestly, the bruised ego thing though, for real. There's only one injury more hurtful or painful than a bruised ego, and that might be a paper cut. But that's it. That's literally it. Now, Reinforce. You know what? I'm just gonna give you a few minutes to gloat. Do it.
Yeah.
Unload.
Thank you. It's coming home. So I want to thank my parents, especially my mom and
it
dad.
Came home for once.
The London Spitfire. I'm really happy with this. Thank you to everyone who helped contribute to this very moment. It's great to finally raise the cup, raise the trophy. It's been a long time coming for the London Spitfire after being super bad last year. So here we are. Upwards trajectory, London Spitfire. You'll love to see it. Do we want to do some analysis? Do you want to play the clips and we can just get into it?
Yeah, let's do that. You take the lead, because you're, like, what do we know about Overwatch really?
All right.
You're obviously the genius here.
Okay. First of all, I'm not going to gloat too much, but because I've already gloated enough. But, overall, this was a great series, guys. This was a fantastic series between two teams. It was very competitive. It could have gone either way on the Circuit Royale. It could have gone either way on Midtown. And even right down to the end, push maps, usually some kind of ultimate advantage gets in the way in the very last fight, but still it was honestly meters away from being Atlanta's series as well, right? So I gotta give props to both teams for providing us with such entertainment here in this first series of the day. Overall though, this is sort of what I expected London Spitfire to do. I expected them to win on maps like Midtown here, and I think they asserted their Reinhardt dominance here with the role composition, and as well Colosseo to wrap things up. Even though it was pretty close, I think it's a map that London Spitfire plays really well. You can see the Sparker flanks come in, and that's something they've done in the past, so they knew they were going to pull that out, and I think it's a well-practiced map for them. Then again, the other couple of maps, I think they honestly could have gone either way. London Spitfire, I think they played the brawl the best they could, and on maps like Ilios right here, Atlanta Reign proved that they are the way better team when it comes to Winston and Tracer, but overall the series just kind of favored Reinhardt Brawl because of the map pool.
Yeah, and I think it's really interesting. The thing that I'm most excited about this is, as Johnny said, it was very compositionally determined, like the maps really gave the final result. But for me, not just the London Spitfire, but the Atlanta Reign, everyone had their moment in the sun. Everyone was playing incredibly well throughout the entire series. Landon had some really